Hello everyone, it's JL. Here I am again with a second video showing the game I'm currently working on. It's a game called Fortitude, which is a solo-only World War II themed. Now, in my last video, I kind of went over how I'm approaching that solo trick-taking act, and of course I'll show some of this again, but basically just to kind of go over where we are in the game right now. As you can see, this is a game. It's based off of quote unquote based off of real events that happened during World War II, right before the launch of D-Day. So in the 16 months before, while the Allied forces were planning the you know their invasion on the beaches of Normandy, they realized they needed to keep the German military intelligence occupied. So they ran something called Operation Fortitude, which was part of a larger Operation Bodyguard, which was a basic military deception operations, you know, designed to keep the German military guessing as to what the Allies were, what their actual intentions were. In the case of Fortitude, they wanted to hide the fact that they were going to land in Normandy by convincing the Germans that they were either landing farther north in France, in Calais, right across the channel from England, or somewhere in Norway, probably in Trondheim. So basically, Fortitude North was focused in Trondheim, Fortitude South, Calais. And so what this game is basically imitating is that back and forth through trick-taking card play. You are trying to keep the Germans guessing between Calais and Trondheim, all the while avoiding them becoming suspicious of a Norman invasion in Normandy. So I'm gonna kind of go over where we are in the game here. I changed this basic player sheet around a little bit. Some of the layout has changed from the last video, but essentially everything's the same. It's still, I guess, really you can call it a flip and write, except that instead of just flipping a card and writing something down, you are actually playing, doing trick taking to determine, what you get to do and whatnot. But I'm going to show that in a sec. So the starting hand size, as you see, is 4 cards, which I've already dealt to myself. This is a short suit, or your short deck. So it's basically 36 cards, ace to 9 in the 4 suits of a standard deck of cards. And here is something I've just added from last time. It's an event deck of cards. And I'll show you that in a moment. When you play physically, you would flip the card and place the event card here in this area. You'll see that the size of the cards are a bit small, but it really doesn't matter for what I'm showing now. But just a warning, this area here is kind of the play area for the event card. So let's go ahead and take a look. So the way the game plays, the player represents the Allied forces. And whenever you start a game, the player will lead the trick. Here's a card play order, and you can see whoever is leading will lead with 1 card played to the tricks, which are played in these areas here. So the Allied cards are on this left column, the German cards are on the right column. So as a player, you'll play a card and you'll record a number in one of these, left-hand columns. And then you'll flip cards and play the German response in the right-hand columns. So, so let's begin, and I'll just kind of talk through where we are. So here's my hand. I have a 4, 6, and 2, 3. So fairly mid, um, decent deck. Now, the only thing when it comes to playing to the tricks, the player is mostly only concerned with the value of the card. So the 4, the 6, the 3, and the 3. Suits typically don't matter for the player because ultimately when we evaluate, which tricks are won by whom, you're only just going to look at the value of the numbers, not the suit that was played. So really, this is kind of a more of a may follow without any trumps. Familiar with trick taking, except for the player, it's a can't follow technically. By which I mean, here you see I have a 4 of clubs. I can play that anywhere, in these left-hand columns, with the exception of this row that is designated the clubs row. I cannot play the 4 of clubs here or here. I cannot play the 6 of diamonds here or here. So I can play anywhere except for the row of the corresponding suit. So that's the only time as the player that you're really concerned with the suit of your card that you're playing. Now for the German player, and I'll show this in a moment, this suit is really important and it determines where they're going to play. So we'll just go ahead and begin. So the only decent card I really have is this 6. And I'm going to go ahead and play the 6. And I'm going to play it, I'll play it here. So we're going to record a 6 here. Now, the German card, their first one is a 9 of diamonds. So we know that's the highest diamond played. Now, once you play the first card, we're going to move this here, which shows that the German forces are concentrated in the north. So spades and diamonds are the northern suits. The heart and clubs are the southern suits. So they're concentrated in the north, and they'll record this first trick, this 9, will be recorded here, because Trondheim is north, Calais is south. So it'll play it in this north diamond area. So that's where the 9 goes. Now we will see what their second card is. Oops. It is a 6 clubs. Now we're going to play it in the clubs, because that's what they played. Clubs are in the south, so this 6 will actually get recorded here in Calais in the south. Okay, so now I have 2 more tricks to play. So I have a couple clubs, so I can't play them here, so I have to be careful. And 2 3s. Okay, so this is not good. So one thing, at the end of the round, I'm going to evaluate where I won the most tricks, where the majority of my tricks were won. And depending on whether they were won in Trondheim in the north or Calais in the south, I get a benefit. Now with Trondheim, if I win more tricks there than in Calais, I get to increase my the hand size by 1 card, which an increased hand size has a couple benefits. It gives me more options. It also kind of slows down the progression of time in the game, which I'll show. In Calais, I get to attempt to break the German code, which once I, cross out all of these numbers, then these event cards are no longer played or no longer triggered. Which does remind me, I forgot to do one thing here. So let me, before I continue, I'm going to flip this. And here, this is what the card looks like. But what I'm concerned with are the 5 numbers at the bottom, which shows where or what rounds the additional event cards will be played. Now, depending on if you're going to play an easy, medium, or hard game, depends on how many of these, the 5 rounds will trigger events. I'm gonna try a hard one, so I'm gonna do all 5. So basically, what I need to do is indicate on 9, 7, 10, 8, and 13 that we will have events. And give me a second here, I need my tools back. So basically, what I'm going to do is I want to draw a line on a different color. We're gonna go color, let's go red. Okay, cool. So what did I say? I said on 9. Here's the mark there. On 7. Here. 10. 8 and 13. So 13 is here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So as we can see, I'm going to trigger quite a few events midway in the year, and it's going to lighten up again, and then right at the end of the year, I'm going to have a couple more events. So this kind of gives me an idea of the lay of the land. So, and the way it works is every time you finish a round, you're going to check off the month. So right now we are in March. So when all the cards have been played, March will disappear and we'll go into April. But since we have this red area filled in, it means once I leave March, I'm going to trigger an event. So that's what that is. So I should have had that set up. Excuse me. But let's see. So let's go ahead and look. So we have 1, 2, 3. So we played here. So it is now my turn. So we're going to go with this 4, 3, and 3. Now, as I was saying, if I win more tricks in trying time, I get to increase my hand size. So I think that's more beneficial right now. So I'm going to play this 4. I'm going to play it right here. And I'll follow it up with a 3. We'll play right here. Now it seems kind of haphazard where I'm playing the cards. Really, it isn't, because there is a strategy which I'll explain after the round is over with these advanced tactics. So there's a consideration as the allied player which suits, quote unquote, you're playing to, and I'll explain that. So that's we're played through here. So now we have 2 cards from Germany. So I'm gonna flip. So they have a 6 of spades. Spades in the north. So they're gonna play the 6 right here. And they will follow the 3 of hearts, which hearts are in the south. So they're going to play 3 I just played. Okay, so now we played through here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards have been played. So now I know we're up here. So we're playing the 8th card, which is my 3. And I mean, chances are this 3 is going to get killed anyway. I'm going to go ahead and just forfeit it. I'll play right. Now I need to play another card. So, of course, I need to deal myself my new hand. But every time we have to deal new cards to the player, that triggers the end of the month. So now I know I've now finished March. So I'm going to tick this off. But again, since the card underneath is filled in, that tells me I need to play an event card. We're going to play this event card and flip it. And this event card says the squeeze. Reduce the highest allied value in Calais by the number of the current pip in this calendar period. 1, 2, or 3. And this is an instant card, which is indicated by that little dash in the top right. So we are currently now in the second month. So, in Calais, huh? So this is 4 is the highest card I've played. So really, it's not a 4, it's actually a 2 now. And since this is an instant card, I can just go ahead and put it in the discard area. Okay, well that's not good, so it's even worse. So I'm going to go ahead and deal myself 4 more cards. Okay. And so we are right here. So it tells me 8 cards have been played. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I need to play my 9th one. So we have some better cards. Now the other thing, when we trigger a new hand for the player, we want to mark any tricks that are by themselves that haven't been opposed. So these are opposed tricks because both of the columns in the row here have been filled. So I played a 3, they played a 6, I played a 3, they played a 3. If it's not opposed, we're going to make a check mark in the corner. And this means that there are extended actions happening here. Basically, in the, I guess, the meta narrative or the theme of the game, in this area, here in Trondheim and in Calais, the Allied forces, we were running operations, and because Germany hasn't done anything to check it out, it's kind of getting their attention some more. Consequently, in Trondheim, there are these 2 areas where Germany is really kind of investigating, and if I don't respond or respond adequately, they'll begin to think, well, maybe Trondheim isn't that important, so therefore something else is. But I don't want them to think that, so I want to address their extended actions by playing to them. Now, for me, all that means is I'm just going to make sure that I play to these 2 here. So I have this 7 of diamonds. Go ahead and throw that out there. So I'm going to play a 7 to their 6, and since it's now an opposed trick, I can go ahead and clear that. And so that's my card here. So we should be at 9. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So Germany will play here. Now, if there are extended actions, extended allied actions, then when I pull this card and flip it, instead of playing, to the spade or whatever else that the German algorithm would say, they are going to play to cover any extended actions that the allied player has out there, but they'll do it in ascending order. So starting with the smallest number, in this case the 2, they're going to play their 2 here. Now it just so happens that they played a spade and the extended action was in the spade, but even if that were a heart or club or whatever, that 4 would still be played here. So Germany is taking me seriously and, looking into it to see what's going on. So we have their second card, which will be played to this club in Trondheim. It is also a club. Funny how that works out. It feels as though the deck is actually responding to what's on the board. So that's taken out. Now I still have one more German extended action where I need to kind of show that I am serious about Trondheim. Unfortunately, it's the 9 they played, and I don't have anything in hand that can defeat that. Well, Let me go ahead and we'll burn this ace here, and we'll play it to the diamond. Might as well not throw good after bad. And then I have this 8, and I can't play the 8 here, and I have the 7, and I can't play it here because of the rule that I cannot follow in the row of the suit. So I am forced to play this 8 here. Okay, so now we should be 1, 2, 4, 6, 10, 13. So we should be here. So 14 and 15 is Germany's response. So Germany will play this 2. So 2 of hearts, or no extended action. So now we can look down here. Hearts are in the south. They've already played to the south, so they'll play to the corresponding side in the north. They'll play this 2. And then they will play this 5. And then, well, really they only have one place to play, so they have to play it there. So now we are here, so we're gonna finish out the round. I have 2 more cards to play. So I have to play this 7, and the only available spot here. I don't have any more cards, so I need to redeal. So that's going to trigger an end of the month. So now we are moving into May. Now since May doesn't have the colored event card icon underneath, I don't pull an event card. Not yet anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and give myself 4 more cards. So we always end the round out with the final 2 tricks played to Normandy. Now, in a typical trick taker, you're actively trying to win the tricks, which is the case here in Trondheim and Calais. I ideally want to win all of these tricks if I can, because that shows to the German player or to the German military that these are serious areas that the ally is vying for. So therefore, one of these 2 areas will be the eventual landing site when the Allied forces try to retake Europe. Conversely, I don't want them to think that Normandy is a serious option. So whereas I'm trying to win tricks in Calais and Trondheim, when we get to Normandy, I'm actually trying to avoid winning the tricks. So I want to play as low a card as I can. And also, here suits don't matter at all. So I can play any card. It's just really the value. I want it to be low. So I have this 2. I'm going to play it here, which is this trick. So we only have 1 remaining trick in or card to be played in the round, which is Germany's. We shall flip it, and they correspond with the 5. So I did what I needed to. I needed to avoid winning the trick here, and I did. Now, what would happen if this was reversed? If I'd played the 5 and they'd played the 2, or just whatever. If I ended up winning this trick, I would have to tick off Germany's suspicion. So I would indicate I have 6 boxes here. As they get more suspicious of this area, they get closer to realizing actually Normandy is the proposed landing site. And if they figure this out before the end of the game, then they will be prepared for, D-Day. Historically, Fortitude worked. They had no idea that Normandy was this landing site, and so when the Allied forces landed, a lot of the support, air support and whatnot, it was routed out elsewhere. So it took some time for Germany to try to bring reinforcements down to Normandy to deal with this Allied beachhead that they had established. That was a good thing for the Allied forces. If Germany was more prepared and had realized, who knows, D-Day, the outcome might have been different. So this is kind of what this is simulating. So if we tick it off 6 times, once you get to this box, the 6th trick that you lose in Normandy, you lose the game. So we're trying to hold off this suspicion level until we finish out June. If we can do that, we've won. So, let's look and see what we have here. First thing I want to look at is majority tricks or major victories. So we won the majority of tricks where in Trondheim or Calais. So we won 1, 2, 3 in Trondheim, and only 1 that we won in Calais. We technically didn't lose this one here, but it doesn't score as a win either. So it's 3-1. So we won the majority of our tricks in Trondheim, which says then we can increase our hand size by 1 card. Go ahead and do that. Hand size is now 5. Let's see what else. Let's see how many we lost. Now we lost 1 trick here. We lost 2 tricks, 3 tricks, 4 tricks. So what we do is we take the number of tricks that you lose and divide it, by 2. So have the number of tricks. We'll round down because, I'm going to be nice. So we lost 4, so rounding down, that would be 2. So the German alertedness is actually going to go down. What this signifies is that despite our best efforts, we weren't really that convincing that Calais and Trondheim were going to be points of interest for our potential landing site. So right now, our operation isn't that successful. As a result, whenever we have to draw an event card, we're going to have to draw 1 additional event card, which would be effective, which would hit us in these months here. Now, the only other time when we will draw an event card outside of the months that we've indicated is if the German area that they're concentrating on this kind of radar rondelle that I've created, if their radar shifts. So if they move to a different zone, then I'm going to have to draw an event card at the beginning of that month. And the way we look at that is, so they played diamonds first, so that's where they first looked. I can keep them from moving, and it moves, round to round in a clockwise fashion. I can keep it from moving if I win both tricks in the diamond row. Unfortunately, I didn't. I won the one in Calais, but the one in Trondheim I lost. So that means next round, they're going to shift their focus and clubs will be on the radar. And as you can see, I crossed over the line that has a card at the end, so that tells me I must now draw an event card. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that card, and this will see what happens. So this card says, your attention is needed. You must play every trick to Calais until it's filled. So basically, starting next round, I can only play in this column until I've played in all 4 of the columns. Germany can play on both sides. I don't have to wait for the German side to get filled, but I have to play my first 4 tricks here before I can even look at Trondheim. So we'll see what that does. Okay, and the other thing we need to look at is our advanced tactics. Now, what the advanced tactics show us is, as long as we're somewhat effective, we can improve our effectiveness. We can learn from, what's happened on the ground and, add to our tactics. So the way we do this is we're going to compare the largest differences. So I'm going to look here in this column, spades and diamonds. Which of the four tricks played in the spades and diamonds do I have the largest difference of the tricks that I won? So looking at what I won, here I played a 7, Germany played a 6, that's a difference of 1. Here in Calais in the diamonds, I played a 7, Germany responded with a 5, that's a difference of 2. So diamonds is my largest difference. Now looking at between clubs and hearts, I have a difference of 5, actually a difference of 6. So hearts is my largest difference. So I'm going to go down to the diamond column and across, well, the diamond row, and then go over to the hearts column, and I see I get one of these. So this is a fake extended action. Basically, I'm going to increase my radio chatter and make Germany think something is happening in an area where it may or may not be happening. And that's going to be represented by me adding one of these, like an extended action somewhere when I want to use this to force Germany to play to that trick. And depending on the situation at hand, it might be very useful for me to force Germany to play where I want them to play. So now we're going to just reset everything. And we are ready to continue. So we're still in this, kind of first section, first order here. So we are currently in May. Also, the other thing I failed to mention is whoever wins the trick in Normandy is going to lead in the next round. So Germany won that, so the German algorithm will play first. So they're going to go ahead and lead. And it just so happened they played a club. They're in clubs. Now, even if this were a heart or a diamond or whatever, since this is German, the German first card they play, either leading or responding, it's going to be played in according to where their little marker is on the rondel. So if this were a diamond, let's say, it would actually be played as a club. But in this case, it's a club. Clubs are in the south, so they're going to play to the south. Now I have my 2 cards to respond. And again, because of this event card, I am forced to play in Calais. So it would be nice to respond to this 2 with a card that's going to win, but not so high. But I can't play the 5 there because it is a club. So let me play. I'm going to play this 5, which should do fine. Technically, it is above the average of 4.5. So statistically, it should win. We're going to play this 5 here. My 9. Again, it looks as though I could just play willy-nilly. But because of these advanced tactics, I might think, well, like for instance here, the German alertedness, it's not where I want it to be. I want them to be on high alert, not low alert. So I need to do some other measures to increase their alertedness, which is represented by this exclamation point. So if at the end of this round, if I can have the greatest difference of tricks between diamonds and clubs, it would mean that I get to increase the German alertedness, and then I get to move it over to the right. And again, if I can move it 2, I can stop drawing the extra card. That does remind me, I didn't draw the second event. So let me go ahead and do that. And the second event says reduce the highest allied value in Trondheim. Now, nothing's played, so I'm going to add subsequent text that says if Trondheim is empty, then reduce the value of the first trick that the allied player plays in Trondheim. So I have to think about that when I get there. So, as you can see, them being on low alert makes it more difficult because I'm not being as effective as I could be. So let's see. I have this 9. I want it to be between 9 and diamonds. So, contrary, wait, sorry, excuse me, diamonds and clubs. So kind of contrary to what I was saying earlier about not wanting to play this 9 against the 2, which, is going to lose to most cards. I am going to play it because the only better option would have been if that were an ace that was played. That's going to be, the highest difference of 8 that we could get. So having a difference of 7 is actually pretty good here. So chances are I've satisfied this column as long as, as I don't get a 9 against a 1. So then that would mean the next thing I would want to do is play this 9 here. So that's where I'm looking right now. So we have 3. So I'll have to wait to see what Germany does. They play a heart, which is in the south. So they're going to play this 4 to Calais, followed by diamonds are in the north. So they're going to go over here and play this 1 here. Now, again, I can't hold this over because ideally I would rather that 1 be there, and that would almost guarantee that I would get this as my advanced tactic at the end of the round. But they didn't. I'm gonna, cross my fingers that I played to the diamond here. Right now, if I play to the heart, that's a difference of 5. 8 and 1, 8 and 2. Well, let me take my chances. I'm just going to play it here. So there's this. So we're at 3, 6. So we're here. So I have one more card to play. So let me deal myself 4. And okay, so this is pretty good. So I had 2 9s. I'm now have 2 8s, 7 and a 6. So I'm kind of burning off a lot of high cards. So the chance that I might wait and play one of the 8s here to get a difference of 7, which would be pretty decent. So I can't play the 6 here. So I'm going to play this 7, the heart. Now I've filled up my column in Calais. So technically I have satisfied this first event. Must play every trick to Calais until it's filled. Okay. So now I still have this other one, which I need to think about because it does affect the first card I play in Trondheim. So we are at 3, 7. So I'm here. So let's see what Germany does. Germany plays diamonds, which are in the north. They play a 3. So they've already filled their northern slot for diamonds, so this 3 will actually happen in Calais. That gives me a difference of 6, so that's pretty decent. And we're going to flip this 2. Spades are in the north, so this 2 will go here. Let me read this. By the number of the current pip. So what that means is we are in the 3rd month of this quarter. So we had this card last time. So again, being in the 3rd month means I'm going to do a -3 to the first card I play. Let's go ahead and play this 6 here. But instead of it being a 6, it will actually be recorded as a 3. That satisfies this. We can now play as we want. Now, I don't want... Well, no, actually it doesn't matter because I want diamonds, clubs. So let's go ahead and we'll play this 8 here. So in all chance, all likelihood, yeah, no, I won't. So I got the diamond row, and I'm looking good for the clubs as my column. Maybe I'll play this 8 there in a minute to help ensure that. So we have 3, 7, 11. So I'm done here. So Germany will play their 12th card. Hearts are in the south. They've already played to the south, so this will be played here. We're going to flip it. Clubs in the south has already been played, so this 9 is actually going to be played in the north. Now, I just realized there's one other thing I missed. In the previous round, I do recall we had 2 cards. I think they were in the hearts right here. 2 3s were played. Anytime a trick is tied, this gives you double agent. So I should have a double agent there. And the way the double agent works is whenever I play a card, before the end of the round, so whatever card is played on my side, I can actually drop in and change the value of that card by expending an agent and then picking off, which value I actually want that to be. So, and I'm looking at whether that could be played after the fact or it must be played when the card is played. I'm kind of leaning towards the latter, but I'll have to play that out. So, the only thing is that still wouldn't help with this 9 because the highest I could substitute is a 7. But we'll have to see. But we'll see where we are. We're at 3, 7, 10, 13, 11, 12, 13. So now it's my turn. 14. Well, I can only play against the club because I can't put that in the heart. So I have to play this 8 right here. And then we will give ourselves 4 cards. Okay. And we will gonna tick off May, so we're now going into June. So we have 8. Yes, so I am playing my 15th one. I'll just play this 4. Okay, so that's the 15th. So Germany has 2 tricks, so they have to fill this last one here, and then they'll play to Normandy. And so we're gonna flip this over. Move this whole thing. Quite funny when I don't want to move the whole thing, I move it, and when I do want to move the whole thing, yeah. Okay, so flip. So Germany will play a 5 here, the available place they can play. And then, let's see what they play to Normandy. They play an 8. Very good. So we're going to finish this round out by me playing this 5 so that I can ensure that Germany wins Normandy. So again, that's me showing Normandy's not that important to me, so therefore don't pay attention to it. Now, you can note that I could have played either of these 2 cards or either of the 3 cards and still been fine. 5 and 7, you know, would have been losses for me, which is good. The 8, now that's a tie. Now again, tie means I didn't win there, so I'm still fulfilling the mandate that I do not win in Normandy. However, it's kind of on the edge. So I would still get a secret agent that I would have recruited had I done that, and maybe that would have made the most sense. With a tied trick in Normandy, whoever led the current round would then lead the next round. So Germany would have continued leading had I, even if I tied with that 8. So let's see. Again, speaking about Germany, did I win both tricks in the clubs? I did not. So Germany will go ahead and the radar, put a different area on the radar. So I will have to draw this event card and see what it says. Let's look what else. I won the most tricks. I won all but 1 in Trondheim, so 4. In Calais, 3. In Calais, I won 3. Now, in the case of not having a majority in either one, I can choose which I would rather. The other thing is, I having this tie is technically better than this loss here. So you could make the argument that Calais is statistically was a better play than what I did in Trondheim. Maybe I'll have that in the rules, but at this point it's just counting straight wins and, discounting the losses and ties. So 3 and 3. I can choose between the 2. And that does remind me, my hand size was 5. I'd been dealing myself 4, so I hadn't even had the advantage of the larger hand size, which would have had the effect of the months taking longer to end because I have more stuff going on, so I can do more in the month. So I'll have to remember that. Excuse me. So let's see. Well, just for sake of the demonstration, I'm going to say I did the best in Calais, which will give me an attempt to code break. Now, the way I code break here is I get 1 attempt or I get to add 1 more piece of information. And the way it works is by summing the 2 cards that were played to any 1 trick. And I can mark off the corresponding number here in this code break area. So let's look at 11. I mean, here this is pretty decent. Two high cards played against each other might not be so likely, so maybe I should do that. 17, so I think I will. So I shall cross off 17. And I will, oops, no. So really, that number will stay the same. It's not like a double agent or anything like that, where if I use it, it goes away, or one of my other tactics. Um, but there are event cards that can affect this code break area. But again, once I cross off every number here, then this effectively stops the event cards. Basically, whatever Germany countermeasures they're doing, I'm basically listening in and can adjust for it. So whatever they would do here that would negatively impact me doesn't matter. So I'll go through one more round, I think. I think I have enough time for that, and then we'll call it. But first off, let's see, where did it, so I said Calais. Um, let's see, the high, I do have a tie here, so that gives me another double agent. So I have two double agents now. And let's see if I got the tactic I wanted. So we said diamonds, I have 7. Do I have anything close to that? No. So diamond row. Now, in terms of here, I have a 7 in the clubs. In hearts, the highest, I have 3. So it looks like I was able to do what I wanted. So that moves it up there. Now let's see. I did lose some though, right? I lost 1. So 1, that's 0.5. We'll round it down, that's 0, so this doesn't move. So actually increasing their loadedness was beneficial. So hopefully I can do it again and I won't have to draw the extra event card. And I believe that's everything. Let's see. Now we said that I didn't win here, so they did move, so they're going to be in the hearts is where they're going to focus on. They won in Normandy, so they will lead next trick. Okay. And okay, so they lead the next trick. I'll go ahead and retroactively, since I should have had 5 cards, I'll go ahead and just give myself 1 more card. We'll just go from there. Okay, cool. So they will play their first card, which is a 7. Even though it says a diamond, they are playing to the hearts because that's on their radar right now. So that's in Calais. So the 7 will go here. I have to play 2. Oh, let's actually see what's going on here. And that reminds me, since I did have to draw, I do get the extra one. So let's see. Okay. Well, originally, I need to change that. Originally, instead of the double agents, there were strawman paratroopers, but I decided to take that out and change it because even though the Allied forces did actually have, straw stuffed dummies attached to parachutes to kind of fool, the German soldiers into thinking, more soldiers were parachuting down and parachuting in areas where they might not have been. That actually didn't happen during Operation Fortitude. So I wanted to kind of maintain um, some accuracy, as it were. So I took that out and added the double agents there. So we'll read this as double agents can't be used um, until you tie a trick. I also wanted to change that to say, I have it written down somewhere. We'll just keep it that way. So until I tie a trick, I can't use double agents. And then we have a second event. And that one says reduce your cache of inflatable decoys by 1. Don't decrease stock below 0. I don't have any, so that actually won't affect me for now. So fairly decent. But this one will stay here until we tie a trick. Well, let's go ahead and I'll just do that. I'll just wipe it out. I'll tie this trick here. So that's gone. Okay. And then I have one more. I'm going to play this in Trondheim. Let's get a larger hand size, maybe. So, well, no. I'll play this 9. Let's try to do what we did last time. I'm going to go ahead and let's play it to Trondheim, but I'll play in the diamonds here. We're going to see if I can reproduce this whole thing with getting, increasing their alertedness. So that's 3. So Germany will play 4. In the north, they will play a 5. Okay. And in the south, they will play a 7. Okay, so I have this 8 here. If I play it here, I would still win, but the difference would be somewhat low. Right now, here I have a 0. So I could play that because a 1 is certainly bigger than a 0. Or I can play it here and try. Well, let's see if I can. I don't want to lose too many tricks. Otherwise, increasing their alertedness won't really matter if I lose so much that it goes back anyway. So let's play there. So we're gonna give myself 5. Okay. And again, having more cards here means that it's just that much longer before I end the month. Speaking of which, I'm now into June. Now I'm in July. So let's see what we can do with all of this. So 6, 7, 8, 8, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 7, excuse me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Okay, I'm miscounting. I got scared there. So we're here. So this is the 7th trick. or seventh card. Also, I do need to mark these two. So Germany will definitely play there first against my 9. Now I want. Well, we reshuffled. I have an 8 and a 7, 9 and a 5. I have some 8s and 7s, so we will have the 4 7s. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna hold off. I was wondering if I should do an extended action somewhere to force Germany to play someplace aside from here first, but I don't think it really matters. Um, 6, so let's play my 7th. I'll go ahead and play the 6 here and just win this. Let's see, Germany shall play this. Clubs, which they'll have to play here because of that extended action. That's gone. And I actually counter that one, so that's gone. Okay, good. And then one more. Okay. Spades are in the north, so they're going to play this one here. I would have rather have been there. So 3, 6, 13. So 14 and 15. I'm going to hope I'm going to play the 7 here. And let's take advantage for having a 1 on the board. So I'm going to play my 2 there. Okay. So 3, 7, 3, 5, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11. So 12. It was in the south. We're going to play that. It's pretty good. Good spread there for me. And then this heart. We're going to play here. Looks like I'm not going to be able to keep them from moving. Yeah. Okay. Well. So I have here and here. I'm going to lose with this 3 anyway, so might as well play it here. And I'm going to play this 8 here. Finish out the round with Germany playing a 5. And then Germany plays a 3 here. I don't have any cards, so we're going to tick off the month, end of the month. We're moving into August. And I will deal myself 5. And of course, the most obvious thing is to play a 1 against their 3. Okay. So that's the end of this round, and just to kind of take an account how things look, I was able to dodge a bullet here by convincing them that Normandy still isn't important by, again, not winning this trick, so their suspicion of Normandy stays down. As you look, I'm what, two, not quite 2/3 of the way through, but I'm fairly well into the campaign and have avoided any suspicion. So at this point in time, it's actually looking very good for me. Um, they are fairly low alertedness. Let me look and see what I did about that. I wanted this, so I needed the highest differences in diamonds, which is a 5 and a 3. Excuse me. No, 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 excuse me. 3 and 3 versus 1 and 1. So I did get the diamond there, and in the clubs, I got 5 and 1 versus 0, and I lost there, so that's a 5. So I did get that. So we do get to increase their alertedness. So I don't draw the extra event card, which is good. Majority tricks. I won the most in um this is odd. I have a double here, and I feel like I added that previously, but maybe not. Looks like I've recruited another secret agent, which I haven't had to use yet. I'll have to look at that. In terms of majority, I won 1, 2, 3 here, 1, 2, 3, and tied here in Calais. So again, it's kind of even. Um, Maybe we will do some more code breaking. So here I have a 14, 13, excuse me, it's 15, 15. Yeah, why not? Let's just go and do this 15. Okay. And I hearts. I did not keep them, so they are going to move again. So that will get me a card here. But again, just only that one. And yeah, that's it for everything here. This as far as cleanup and doing the accounting in between rounds. Let me just take a look. I'm going to go ahead and flip this. Allied cards played in Trondheim have the values halved rounded up. So again, the first card I play in Trondheim is going to be of a lower value than what is played unless I play this one. Excuse me, which would be played as a one. So maybe that's what I would do. But that's for another time because I've run out of how much time I have to play right now. That's the game thus far. Fortitude. Again, it's a solo trick-taking card play. Hopefully, card game. Hopefully, that's you've seen how that played out, and it feels like a trick-taking game. Hopefully, the theme is playing out. I do feel like there is some good, decision space, especially when you're trying to play for specific advanced tactics or you're trying to get specific majorities wherever, or as we saw with the event card, looking at which card I'm going to play in Trondheim first to minimize the effect of this event card. Um, yeah, this is, my first, I guess, quote unquote, roll and ride or flip and ride that I've tried to design. So hopefully it feels like there's stuff going on. It still's a little rough and there's a lot to take a look at. But definitely, if you have any thoughts or opinions, please leave me a comment. I'm happy to hear any any ideas you have or any comments. Um, this is a game that I will probably do some play testing with soon. So if you're interested in trying to play test the game and check it out for yourself, again, let me know in the comments and I'll add you to the list. But that's all for now. So thank you, and we'll play again soon. Bye bye.